Joining us now for more on all of this is the co-author of this new study. Chris Nowinski is a former pro wrestler who is now a neuroscientist and the CEO of the Concussion Legacy Foundation. Chris, thanks so much for being here. I got to tell you, 41% of these high school and college athletes' brains showed signs of CTE. And to put it in perspective, less than 1% of the patients at community brain banks show this same disorder. It's really alarming.
It is. We weren't talking about CT until 15 years ago, and so we've now studied nearly 1,500 brains at the Boston University CT Center, and 150 died before 30. And you would think that those had shorter careers, and more than 70% of them were just amateurs. But to find CTE in nearly half is really concerning, and hopefully it sends a message to parents to choose wisely when they begin contact sports and if they begin contact sports, and to sports leagues to change how we play, because nobody deserves this disease. It's entirely within our control whether or not young athletes get it.
Yeah, we have long known that professional football players show signs of this. Almost 92% of NFL players studied show signs of CTE. But these are athletes who played far less time and at levels far below the professional athletes. Are you surprised that high school and college football, soccer, ice hockey is leading to this?
Unfortunately, I'm not after all these years of studying it. What's very clear is that there is a dose-response relationship between head impacts and whether or not you get CT. So the more years you play, and really the more hits you take and the stronger those hits are, the more likely you are to develop CTE. And so even in high school athletes, and I suspect we've seen this in youth athletes as well, they developed it during their youth career. You can take enough hits depending on the sport you play and depending on the style you play. But if you think about it, most of these athletes, about 3/4 were football players. A lot of them were playing both ways in high school, like I did, taking, well over 1,000 hits to the head per season. And if you start before high school, unfortunately, doesn't appear that difficult or that surprising to have just youth and high school football players developing CTE.
Do you think that even middle school kids could develop CTE? How young does this start?
Yeah, one of the concerning things here is we did find our earliest stage of CT beyond stage 1 is a young person with stage 2 in their teens, which suggests that they got it at least 5 years prior, I think, from understanding the progression of the disease, which means, they certainly got it very young. We don't know how young you can be to get CTE, and frankly, it's going to be really uncomfortable to find out.
We do know that several parents of kids whose brains were studied who died all tell stories talking about the fact that their child suddenly, their personality changed. Suddenly they were paranoid. The father of one football player whose story is on the front page of the New York Times today talks about the fact that suddenly my son was saying he was hearing voices in the basement. He lived in the apartment on the 8th floor and had no basement. Are there any signs your child may be starting to suffer from CTE, and what should you do if you're seeing that?
Well, one very important point of this study is that the symptoms they were suffering, and about 70% had depression, 40% had substance abuse. So this was a very symptomatic overall sample of 152 athletes. But the symptoms didn't necessarily correlate with the CTE pathology. So what we think is happening is that the traumatic brain injuries you suffer along the way to getting CTE may be triggering these symptoms. They could be coming from other areas, or maybe they could be caused by early stage CT, but we think that's the least likely scenario, perhaps. So it's important that people know that if their child or they are suffering from these symptoms in their teens and 20s, they think they're from hits to the head, they're probably treatable because they're from the brain injury, not necessarily from the degenerative process that's going on. So that's one important message to families, is to say, seek treatment. You can get help if you have these symptoms. However, like the story you told of Michael Loxley's son, Mako, he's the dad is the head coach at Maryland. It was very courageous of him to share this story. But when he developed schizoaffective disorder, which is linked to TBI. We don't know yet if it's linked to CT, but that's a very severe issue. So
Yeah.
I'm very concerned about these psychiatric symptoms that we're seeing in young people, and we absolutely need to investigate this.
We do. Chris Nowinski, thanks so much. Important for any parent to take into account. I know you love football, but gosh, think about it really hard before you let your kid play. Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.